Hello, hello. Welcome to the very first episode of The Artist Blooms at Night with your host, Lynx Pitaya. This is the show in which I hold myself accountable for being creative in my nocturnal spare time, and the goal is to hopefully, become a better artist with each horrible little episode. And I don't just mean that as a visual artist. I mainly want to be a better illustrator, sure, but I also want to make better music, which is something I haven't worked on in a long time. I might also try to explore things like ASM artistry, so expect to see segments in the show that reflect these interests, if not several others, and expect a lot of yapping. There will be a lot of yapping. I will be talking quite a bit. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting with some art time. We are going to be filling out a spread in my hot pink sketchbook. Hi. It's voiceover Lynx, here to comment on this art footage, Aure Catarina style, that is to say, footage playing in the back, reaction voiceover on top, where I can talk a little bit about what's happening on screen. So what is happening on screen? Can we guess the theme of this sketchbook spread? Does the kebab plate give it away? That's right, if you were guessing at home, it's food illustration. The theme of these pages is food illustration because I admire those artists that can make food look even more delicious with the power of illustration. And bitch, I want in. I want to be part of that cool people club. Anyways, yeah, this is a real ass kebab plate that is offered at the Middle Eastern joint near me, and it never disappoints. It's got everything: khubs, rice, chicken, tomato, pepper, all of which were fun to render. Some of these chicken chunks, for example, you would carve them out the same way you would stylize a rock. God, I wish I knew what this pepper was called. It's so fucking good. I'd eat like 10 of these alone if it were up to me. You'll notice that I really like this scribble-scrabbly way of drawing in my sketchbook. I think the texture is cool. It's very freeing making marks like that. Oh, okay. Here's one of my favorite items from the bakery near me. It's not a traditional carré-pain, it's more like a carré-pain-inspired croquette. Carré-pain as in curry bread, croquette as in crunchy deep-fried thing with filling inside. And as you might expect from both being fried and being filled with golden curry, it is in fact very good, but I have to disclose the fact that in real life this thing is not as juicy. For illustrative purposes, I have amped up the amount of filling. The flakiness is about the same though. I like drawing in the little spiny, flaky guys on top. And last but not least, a salmon plate. This, like the kebab plate, is a real takeout item that I've had and still get sometimes. Here you get some salmon, obviously, edamame, some kind of brown rice, sweet potato, and kale. Filling and delicious. Lots of things to learn from here, even if they were kind of a pain in the ass. A lot of simplification going on, a lot of different textures. Yeah, this kale was something else. This rice mound on the side, not as much. I did enjoy trying to figure it out. Going back in on this salmon. You know, for years I used to pronounce the L because that's how my mom says it in English. I don't know. Is it just me, or does it make more sense to say it with the L? Or maybe not. Maybe etymology-wise there's a good reason for the silent L. It might be French's fault, now that I'm thinking about it. Saumon. Okay, oh my god, the beans. The beans. I hate clusters. I hate drawing clusters of anything. I love edamame, but drawing it, no. And I like that you can literally see me switching from bean to non-bean, because I really don't want to render those fucking beans. So yes, we are just now watching me render the fuck out of these beans. And I think after these beans, we are in the final stretch. We are in the last stretch. Yes, so this is the part where I do contrast checks, soft lighting adjustments, yada yada. And I think we're about to have our finished spread in 3, 2, Welcome back. We've managed to do some art. Now let's talk music. The last time I tried to create any music was during the Panini, and even then it was nowhere near the quantity or quality of music I was making for fun years before that. Everything sucked. I took a huge break, which ended up being years. But now in 2024, I feel ready to start again, even if what I end up making is just old school YouTube earblood or hastily put together background music for a video. Yeah. Did you catch that? I didn't want to mention this earlier because I thought it might be a big honkin' spoiler, but fun fact, I wrote the background music that you heard and are currently hearing. I made those tracks specifically for this because I anticipated using more royalty-free music and maybe not always having tracks that are suitable, proper bangers. I'm realizing that I would probably prefer to use tracks of my own creation for the most part, not only for the control of the vibes, but also because it fits the theme of the show. It gives me something to do, something to get good at when I have the time for it. Here's my problem though. I plan to share the creation process of those tracks here, but then I ran into some difficulties on my old MacBook, which is where all my music creation stuff is. It turns out you need a whole other thingy to get your DAW audio captured in OBS on a Mac. The good news is I did eventually figure it out, so while I can't really share anything big for now, maybe there will be something for next time. You made it to the end. Thank you. You're just in time for the ASMR sign-off, which is totally a thing.